Here are 3 reasons why EA Sports should no longer make UFC games and give all rights to 2K Sports. Yes, I said it, and I'll say it again. It's time for EA to give it up, let somebody else get a chance to make the game, or let more people be able to use the license. That way, it's more competitive companies competing to make the better game. Simple as that. As somebody that has played UFC games since EA Sports UFC 2, UFC 3, and now UFC 4 and 5, I have enough experience to really speak on what both companies can do. I've been playing 2K since I don't know how long. I'm 30 years old. I'm talking 2K9. I've been playing, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna get into it. I got 3 bullet points that I'm gonna talk about, and I wrote these down on my phone. These are in no particular order, but I'm gonna talk about each one individually. Now, the first one's gonna be character diversity, and what I mean is fighters. I call them characters, but the fighters in the game, 2K is really good at doing that. Is animations. If we look at NBA 2K, and I'm gonna always refer to NBA 2K with most of these things. Look at how many different animations they have for every single basketball player. And not every single basketball player on the game has their own animations, but for the most part, if you're currently in the NBA today, right now, or you were in the past, a lot of those guys, they have a lot of those guys animations, such as their jump shots, their dribble styles, their go-to moves, all those animations they have. But you look at UFC and you look at the animations, and there it's not diverse enough. You know, you use Israel Adesanya, you want to punch, you want to see Israel Adesanya throw a punch like Israel Adesanya throws a punch. You want to see Shama throw a left hook like he throws a left hook. You want to see Shama move around like he moves around. His stance like his stance. When you use this fighter, you want to actually feel like that fighter. When you're playing NBA 2K, if you're actually using a basketball player and you're using their moves, you can feel and see, damn, I remember Steph Curry doing that exact move. I remember Kyrie Irving doing that exact move. You can do those exact things in 2K. Now, 2K has that same exact thing in WWE. They have all the wrestler moves, right? It's diverse. Okay, we know what this guy's finisher is, this guy's signature is. Those special animations tailored to those people are in the game. But unfortunately, in UFC games, people don't have not enough people have special animations. Conor McGregor doesn't really look like Conor McGregor as much as he should. Yes, Conor McGregor is clean. Yes, Conor McGregor is good. Wonder Boy's another one. Israel Adesanya that are the marquee fighters need to feel like and look like marquee fighters. I'll give you an example of a marquee fighter that looks like it, but unfortunately just doesn't feel like it. Michael Venom Page, they added an animation with his, I believe it was like a jab or a cross animation. He looks clean. Also, they gave him an idle stance. Looks clean, right? With the hands down. Another fighter that they added an idle stance, but it was more cosmetic look, was Sean Strickland. They gave him a Philly shell when you don't block. So if you're not blocking, he'll have like the Philly shell type of look. But if your opponent throws punches at you, they're gonna punch you in your face, and you're actually not gonna block anything. And once you do hit the block button, R2 or right trigger, you're gonna bring up the regular block instead of actually blocking like Sean Strickland does. So it makes me question, like, what's the point of it's just cosmetic instead of it actually being the gameplay? It's just what it looks like, and that's the issue when it comes to EA. I don't think enough fighters feel like that fighter or look like that fighter to diversify and make it seem like, okay, I'm more immersed into the game. I'm more feeling like I'm that fighter. This is why I like using Conor McGregor. I like using Wonder Boy because of this. You know what I mean? Those type of fighters. They need to diversify fighters. That is what makes these games feel special. That's what makes fighters feel special. I'm not sure if it's mocap. I'm not sure if it's technology, but nowadays I genuinely think technology can mocap animations. But again, I'm not in that field, so I could be completely wrong. And if I am, hey, I hold my head up high and I'll take that on the chin that I'm wrong. But is 2K doing an animation for each and every one of these moves? Because a lot of these guys jump shots, their dribble moves, their go-to moves, their hesitation inside out, if you guys know what those are, they look like them. But it's not like that in UFC, which sucks because pretty sure there's more basketball players in the NBA than there are UFC fighters. Yeah, I mean, you got about 12 players each team. There's like, what, 30 teams? So you guys can do the math. I mean, I may be wrong, but nonetheless, there still needs to be more uniqueness in these fighters in the game. And I genuinely think everybody in the community, if you don't agree with anything I say, you genuinely agree with that one right there. You want to see more fighters look like themselves overall instead of looking like generic versions of themselves, right? Vanderlei Silva was one that they gave special animations to. I mean, back in UFC 3, they gave Carla Esparza a different head movement, so it's able to be done. They gave her different lunge animations that they threw on Mike Tyson. You threw animations from UFC 3 on a fighter in UFC 5. If that doesn't scream out lazy, then I don't know what else does. Anyways, the next subject that I was going to talk on was going to be more game modes. And 2K Sports, they have been like slowing down some on how much game modes they used to have and how much fun they used to be. But like WWE with all the showcase modes and stuff like that, the career mode, honestly, that's probably what sells WWE games is like the career mode, the story mode and stuff like that. It's some more stuff on WWE, but if I refer to NBA 2K, you got the regular play now, right? Then you got park. Then you got different versions of different things you can do in the park. You can go to theater. You can go to the stage where it's the extra tryhards. You can go um to the rec. You can go pro am. You got all these things you can do within the game with these different game modes, and then you get on UFC and all you can play is either ranked stand and bang, ranked ranked regular ranked with MMA fighters, and you got the blitz, but I mean that's pretty dry. Blitz is really dry. It's not exciting. It's not rewarding at all. Um, and then you have the career mode where you're using a creative fighters rank, but it's like it's just really bland. It's really bland. And if I'm being completely honest, it's really lazy because all they did was take away caps out of regular ranked and just put caps in their own ranked and call it creative fighters. And if I'm being completely honest, I think creative fighters have been dumped down and have been lazy as well. Because if you go back and play UFC 3, you could actually put different moves on your fighter, and you had all these set things you could do on UFC 3. But once UFC 4 released in UFC 5, they kind of made it to where they archetypes. It's all about the archetypes. Now NBA 2K does have archetypes as well, but your archetype is built based on how you build your player. It's not about, oh, I want to make when I create my player, I have to choose, okay, I'm an outside scorer and I'm going to be able to pass. No, it's not like that. In UFC, you're forced to be that type of archetype, and it in my opinion is, I don't think that's really good at all. But they did do it to where you can insert stats and stuff, but I want to be able to insert more moves. It just needs to be more hands on. And when I pick my fighter, I want these moves, I want this, I want that, I want this. That is how I envision UFC games to be, when it comes to creating a fighter and doing different things. I mean, WWE is coming out soon, and they're about to have a whole like world, right? WWE is about to have a whole world coming out, and UFC 6, I can guarantee they are not going to have something like that. And that's something I said back when UFC 4 was out. I said they should do something like, hopefully, I don't know if I said it in the video, but I know I said it. I said they should do something like where it's an open world. That way you can really change the game. Open world, and then you can go to different dojos. Okay, you can train at this dojo. You can go with friends to train at this dojo. Let's say you're going to the arts of jujitsu gym, the arts of kickboxing, the arts of Muay Thai, and you put in work and you consistent. You can now become like level 5 Muay Thai stuff, and you can go open spars, you can do this, you can go tournaments, you would really open up the game when you add stuff like that. It makes it more intriguing instead of this cosmetic, you throwing these masks on these silly things on. In my opinion, I think that's definitely what they need to do. Diversify their game, diversify the game modes, make people want to actually play it. The story mode, give people a story mode. I think a lot of games these days have went away from that story mode vibe, and that's what made games so fun. Story mode, not career mode, story mode. I'm okay with a career mode, it's cool, but a story mode where you actually go in and have people talking. I mean, we're in 2025, AI generation. It's all about AI. You're telling me you cannot AI generate somebody's voice or AI generate some things, because we know EA is lazy, but a story mode where you interacting, where you have more control over your career, where you have choices, or like 2K. Yes, 2K has gotten dry and bland, but for the most part, 2K will give you a story mode. They like the career. You know, you going through your story. You got cutscenes, you got interviews, you got all that good stuff. Where is that? Where is that in UFC games? There's no excuse not to be in it, because this isn't a yearly release game. This is a game that comes out every 2 years or every 3 years from 4 to 5. Simple as that. Now, the last bullet point that I want to go over, and this can be a little bit controversial because some people may not feel the way I feel when it comes to this topic, and that is more community appreciation. I think 2K supports their community decently. Now, they do it through a couple of things. They have logos that show, you know, if you have a logo where like your creator, you have a logo like basketball players, football players have logos over their head, just showing like, hey, this guy's a professional, whatever. This guy's, oh, he got a 2K logo. Like, just showing appreciation to their community. And it's deeper than that. Even with them supporting some of their people. And I do get it. You know, 2K does have their way with the community. They do have their negatives. But for the most part, 2K is really interactive with their community, and that's throughout the year. It isn't something where they just completely drop off and don't communicate. I noticed that 2K will communicate with their community throughout the year. And on top of that, I think 2K listens to their community, especially the whining crybabies that complain about this, that, and the third. And 2K will usually change it. If you really look at NBA 2K and you ask, man, the game from release and then the game at the end of the year, it's usually the game that people want, but they usually hate it no matter what. Right? They ask for all these changes that they hate no matter what, which is not what this video is about. But for the most part, 2K does listen to their community, but they also will have an agenda themselves for the most part. But when you look at EA and what they've done, I mean, really look at what they have changed about UFC 5 and what have they made truly feel different about UFC 5 when it comes to listening to their community. I mean, we have cried and complained and asked for stamina changes and damage changes for the longest, and those things just didn't really get touched. I mean, Suave Jamie, I remember when UFC 5 first released, and it was like the first 3, 4, 5 patches where he would say, "Oh, well, they still didn't do this. They still didn't do this," and it's like, bro, what, like, are they not listening? What is the issue? So it's like EA does not listen to their community. EA has honestly lost their community when it comes to communication. And people do like to blame me because I did that developer video, whatever the case may be. But they wasn't communicating with the people even beforehand. Truthfully speaking, they wasn't intervening or interacting or showing appreciation or showing support to creators that are consistently promoting their game, basically, by streaming it, creating content on it. They don't show any appreciation at all. Now, they're not obligated to, but it's always nice when a company does so. And the companies that do it, they thrive more. Simple as that. But I'm not going to drag this video along. I kind of been yapping with 14 minutes basically. So I'm going to end it there. Let me know what you guys think. Whether you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Hopefully this video, I wasn't yapping too much for y'all, but I just had to get my point across, man. 3 reasons why 2K Sports should make UFC games instead of EA. EA, they've had their chance. They've had 5 games to do so, and unfortunately, they have failed. So maybe things will change. Maybe this video touched the right people. But we do know this. UFC signed a contract with EA till 2029, I believe. So if we do have UFC 5, I mean, if EA is making the UFC games, we have them until basically UFC 6 and UFC 7. So nonetheless, appreciate you guys for watching. If you enjoyed any parts, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, turn notifications. We'll catch you boys and girls in the next one. All right, see ya.